We got another video request by my Patreon donor. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel. It will be linked down below.
Just a robot.
Now, I've been wanting to talk about Dragon Ball Z Abridged for quite some time, but I never got around to it. But now that it's a Patreon request, I guess I have to do it. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with Dragon Ball Z Abridged, but for the 4 people who don't, I'll tell you about it. An abridged series is, well, basically a fan dub, usually of an animated series. But they don't dub a series so it will be authentic. They're dubbing it to make a parody of it. Now, I understand the word parody has been kind of ruined in recent years thanks to movies like Disaster Movie and Epic Movie, and other parody movies like them, but abridged series, at least for the most part, know how to make a good parody. A bad parody just tries to make as many references as it can. Know what would be funny? If, in the Battle of Narnia, like what if it was won by them using the remote from Click? And freezing time and stabbing them all to death while the time was frozen. Yeah, that's a great idea. And then the evil witch is killed by Jack Sparrow riding on the wheel for Pirates of the Caribbean 2. A fantastic idea. A good parody, on the other hand, can stand on its own merits, like the movie Princess Bride, which was a parody on the fantasy genre. But even if you didn't know it was a parody, it could still work as its own story. Another thing that makes parodies work is to get you to think, man, how funny would that be if that actually did happen in the original series? Dragon Ball Z Abridged didn't do this at first. In the first episode, Goku was way too logical, and he was also a jerk for no reason. There was also a lot of LOL so random humor that really didn't make any sense. But in the second episode, things immediately started getting better. In the original series, Goku and Piccolo took off their weighted clothing so it would no longer hold them back, increasing their power level. But when they did this in the Abridged series, Raditz came to the conclusion that nudity increased your power level on Earth. It's established in the original series that when a Saiyan's tail is grabbed, they lose a lot of their power. It's kind of like their kryptonite. When Goku grabbed Raditz's tail, he took advantage of Goku's kind and naive heart to get him to let go. In the Abridged series, Goku doesn't fall for this once, but multiple times. Dragon Ball Z Abridged was hilarious, and it got a lot of people to think, how funny would this be if it actually did happen in the original series? But it still couldn't really work as its own thing, until they got to the Namek saga. Now, the editing was much better in Season 2 than it was in Season 1, but the main thing that made the Namek saga great was Frieza. He was just as evil and cutthroat as he was in the original series. Yeah, he cracked a joke here and there, but he was very true to the original character. They didn't make him a goofball like Nappa, or a ball of rage like Vegeta. If you took the abridged version of Frieza and put him in the original series, his character would still work. But when Dragon Ball Z Abridged got to the Android saga, it was no longer a good parody series. It was a great parody series. A parody series goes from good to great only after it becomes better than the thing it's spoofing. For example, Ghost Stories, which many people say was the first unofficial abridged series. The original Ghost Stories was just, well, terrible. And when it was brought over to the States, the people who dubbed it were told, do whatever it takes to make it sell. And they decided to make a parody of it. That parody became so popular that later it was brought back to Japan, and the English dub was dubbed in Japanese. Dragon Ball Z Abridged was of course always way funnier than the original DBZ series, but in the Android saga the fights were better paced, animation errors were getting fixed, they cut out a lot of the filler, and yet the Abridged series had just as much heart as the original, and it was just as epic as the original series. Even characters like Piccolo have been improved. When he fused with Kami and Nail, you never heard from them again. But in the Abridged series, Piccolo constantly has internal monologues with them. Now, some people have said that Dragon Ball Z Abridged was so much better than any other Abridged series that it killed off a lot of other Abridged series, or caused the Abridged series that people were working on to be dropped. Personally, I disagree with this. Abridged series were already dying out. And I think Dragon Ball Z Abridged fame has caused more Abridged series to be made than not. A lot of people do YouTube videos for a little extra cash. And unfortunately, it's really difficult to do that with an Abridged series. They're almost all demonetized. And it takes a lot of work to make an Abridged series in the first place. With one of my videos, it's just me talking, the blind bard fixing my audio, and every now and then, someone helping me edit one of my videos, usually Joshua Montag. But with a Abridged series, you have to have multiple voice actors and crazy editing up to the point where you're matching the audio with the lip flaps. And not getting any money might be the least of your problems. Often Abridged series get taken down due to copyright. So yeah, not only you, but an entire group of people work real hard on something, they don't get paid for it, and that thing they worked really hard on might get taken down. And the chances of it getting big are extremely slim. There's pretty much just Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, anything Team 4-Star has made, and also SAO Abridged, that's also a really good one, you guys should check that out. The last thing I want to say is, it's just amazing that Dragon Ball Abridged is almost at the end of its story. It went through the Saiyan Saga, Frieza Saga, and Cell Saga. All they have left is the Buu Saga. And maybe they'll continue with Dragon Ball Super Abridged. I want to give a shout out to Effing Crazy Games YouTube channel. It will be linked down below. Give him a big thank you for making this video request.
My eyes have seen the glory of the cleansing of YouTube, debunking SJWs and feminazis too. We criticize reactionists in hopes they get the boot, just to roll on margin